dig it in their, bury it in their backyards.
Yeah, keep it cool.
Yeah.
That's because, like, it was a third world country, so they didn't have refrigerators.
But that's how all good food came from. Was like countries that couldn't afford to make like the expense. You get all these great recipes from the people that were poor and needed to make. Something that you usually wouldn't eat, and it's something good. You know what I mean? You'll see that in Italian food. You see that in Korean and Chinese.
It's not just a third world country, too, because I got friends that are Vietnamese, and they still spread newspaper on the floor and cook and stuff on the floor.
It's tradition. Tradition.
But it is like a weird combo. Look, it's obviously I'm from a military family. My dad was in the Army. But when people think Korean and Irish, it's like, oh, God, that's such a crazy, like, mixture. But they're really, like, similar in terms of the people and what the history has been through. Like, they're both pieces of property, land that has been, overcome by powers next to it, like Japan and, obviously England and everything. And then they both have chips on their shoulders. Yeah. They're both very jovial. Like, Koreans are the Irish of Asia because they're known to be outgoing. They both love whiskey. They both love carrots. They both love cabbage. They both love potatoes, and they both hate the sun, which is kind of crazy. So
nice. I was engaged to a girl who was from Thailand, and all she cared about was shoes.
The Imelda Marcos syndrome.
Yeah, that was Philippines actually. Yeah, but she was actually from Thailand, which was pretty cool. Yeah, I liked it. She was fun. She taught me how to make spring rolls.
There you go. You got something out of it?
I got something out of it, right?
Yeah.
Not as hard as you think.
No, actually it was.
You gave her one and she gave you one.
Right. I have a hard time, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
There you go.
But you grew up as a youth playing hockey.
Yeah, I grew up Pittsburgh playing hockey, so I was there, during the Lemieux era.
Okay,
and, just like so spoiled. And my friends and I used to go all the time to all the games. This is when you could scalp tickets before people had printers and everything. And
you'd bring your glove and you'd hope to catch a puck. And, you know what I mean? Stuff like the good old days. Yeah, before the nets. I
remember. I did that Lemieux camp. So a few years ago,
I always wanted to do that.
Yeah, Bill Burr
jealous.
We got to perform. We did a show for them, and basically, in return, they let us skate for the weekend So you're playing with all these all-stars, and I got to play against Lemieux. I got to play with Lemieux.
Yeah.
Mark Recchi drilled me into the boards.
That's awesome.
Rick Tocchet. It was all these guys. Clark Gillies. It was Ty Domi was teaching me how to fight. And he's grabbing my shirt, and he pulled his fist back, and he's like, and he's getting mean when he's getting in character. And I'm like, dude, we don't need to do this. We're in between periods watching the game. Why you? And I was scared. Like, he had my shirt bowled up, and he had his fist back, and it was like, this is Ty, because I go down rabbit holes watching YouTube videos of Ty Domi. It was really a scary experience, but he was the nicest guy in the world.
Was Kevin Stevens there? I loved him as a kid.
He wasn't there.
Yeah, I loved him as a kid. That was one of my favorite.
He was great.
Players.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
but ever since that hit, he was never the same.
I know.
Right?
That's who got me in hockey. I moved to Pittsburgh. I didn't know anything about hockey. I was living in California and Saudi Arabia. You know what I mean? I moved to hockey in '91, right when the Gulf War started. Yeah. So I moved there and discovered hockey, and of course I got lucky because Lemieux, Yager, all them were playing.
Yager.
Yeah. I grew up a Steelers fan though. My dad's always been so I was born a Steelers fan. Moved to Pittsburgh, and it was like at the heyday for hockey there, so I got a little lucky, of course.
Yeah.
And
but it evened out because you got Bubby Brister.
Yeah. No, I moved there the year they picked up Bill Cowher is the year that I moved there. So
O'Donnell.
But I was still a fan in the 80s. You know what I mean? I watched them just on TV.
Yeah, because I know you told me you were a big Bradshaw fan growing up.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I just heard all the stories. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My dad had videos of the 70s. We still have them. I still have VHS of the heyday of the 70s. I know a lot more than in the 70s Steelers than I probably should because I wasn't alive, but, so I was born that way. I still have my Steeler pajamas, as my baby pajamas and stuff like that.
Steve, do you ever get a chance to play in those celebrity hockey games out in L.A.?
No, the only ones I've done are the Pittsburgh ones. Okay. But L.A., no, I'm on the road so much, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. We actually had a hockey group that would get together on Tuesdays and play. It was all comedians.
Oh, wow.
So it was Ian Bagg, Bill Burr, myself, Dane Cook came twice. It was a bunch of guys.
I bet everybody was lining up to hit him.
He was actually pretty good. Pretty good player. So it was a fun crew, and we would just play all the time. And then eventually, like, Burr started getting super busy, and I got super busy, and we just weren't able to do it anymore.
Yeah, life happened.
I used to love watching that stuff. I mean, they don't do it anymore, but back in the 90s, it was like Jason Priestley and Michael J. Fox and all that stuff. We're playing hockey. It was fun to watch, man. I was like, that's really neat.
Yeah.
You know, and they're playing with other retired NHL stars. It was really neat. I like that.
I saw a video the other day of Michael Bublé playing, and I was like,
really?
he can skate, yeah.
Did he really?
Yeah, he's, I guess, a Vancouver guy, and invested in a minor league team there, yeah.
Is he Canadian? Bublé? Yeah? Sounds like the name is. Okay. Yeah, so he has to be a hockey guy.
Yeah. He's nice, so of course he's Canadian.
Right? Yeah. And he's probably born with a hockey stick in his hand, too, just like every other Canadian. Nice. That's great, though. I mean, that's really cool that you played hockey, because I think I should have brought the net and the sticks and set it up in the back parking lot so you still got some moves. I got all that hockey gear.
I still got my rollerblades. I don't have my skates anymore, but... Yeah,
I'm trying to find a roller hockey league because I want to get back into it.
No, I would do if you find it. Let me know.
Oh, definitely.
I'll get back into it.
I heard the Tringali Center did it, but then I called and they
don't do it anymore.
Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah, Florida.
Yeah, Florida. Exactly. We're the nearest ice arena. We got to go to Tampa or Fort Myers.
Exactly.
Nice. So, all right. So Steve's in town. Let's talk a little bit about Steve Byrne.
All right.
We can talk about the Florida Panthers if you want. We could keep going.
You follow the Panthers too? Well, because you travel so much. Where do you call home? Are you you still live in Pittsburgh or?
No, I live in Los Angeles, so I definitely call L.A. home. But Pittsburgh really is always going to be my hometown.
Yeah, okay.
For sure.
I hear you. Well, you did that show, Sullivan and Sons, on TBS, which aired for 3 years. Do you plan on getting back into TV? Is that something you'd want to do, or you want to just say, screw TV, let's get into movies?
I don't know. I had a great experience doing the show, and it's so funny because whenever people are like, oh, you had three seasons, you must be swimming in money. It's like...
It's TBS.
Yeah, exactly. So like, we were on the Warner Brothers lot, which is awesome. It's a great experience. So for 3 years, I was there. I'd always take the golf cart to the back lot and stuff. It was awesome. So... You know, there's all these great sound stages, and it was Big Bang Theory, Two Broke Girls, 2.5 Men, Mike and Molly, and they were all filming where we were filming. But you go to those sets, and you see, like, a Jaguar, Ferrari, a tinted, pimped-out Range Rover, all these sets, and you come to Sullivan and Son, it looked like a teacher's faculty parking. It was like a Prius, a Toyota, a Kia Sorento. Roy Wood Jr. had a Huffy, and he used to chain it up. I'm like, dude, no one is going to steal a Huffy on the lot of the Warner Brothers. It's crazy. Please, don't embarrass us.
Yeah, that's funny. It's the only thing I know about Hollywood lots is from what I've seen on Entourage, so I don't know how accurate that is.
Yeah, I think those are more accurate than, like, the classic, like, there's the Showgirls and the Romans and, all that stuff. But, yeah, it was a pretty wild time. And the great thing about our show is anytime we filmed an episode, the audience would leave, and then we would literally, it turned into Animal House. Like, the music would get cranking. We'd actually hook real kegs up to the kegs. There were liquor bottles hidden in the actual thing. So every now and then I'd fake pour, but I'd pour in real whiskey. And you'd see like a background actor or whatever. Oh, what the hell? So that was kind of cool. But we partied pretty hard after the shows because we were always like, we're never going to know. We don't know if we're going to get picked up again. So every season
it was a party.
Every show, we always ripped it up. And security would constantly sending us warning notices and stuff. I'd flip golf carts. We would get bombed and like go to the back lot and flip golf carts. Where like, the Jurassic Park where the T-Rex is coming after the Jeep?
Yeah.
That was in the back lot.
Yeah.
So we would go back there all the time and just run the golf cart. It was so fun. Midnight, dark, nobody, it was awesome.
Oh, man, it's great.
Hey, you enjoyed it.
All right, let's take our bottom of the hour break, and we'll be back with more on 10. Welcome back to the Larry Timko Show. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals tonight at 7:30 pregame. Puck drops at 8 o'clock right here on 1070 NBC Sports. Game 2 is on Mother's Day at 8 o'clock. 2 shows.
Sorry, Mamas.
Yeah,
I gotta go to hockey
again. 2 shows at Bassani's on Sunday with Al Ernst performing.
Yes, we have 3 o'clock and 6:30.
All right,
yeah. Listen to NHL. That's how you schedule something. You don't schedule an 8 o'clock game on Sunday.
No,
I don't get it. Sundays you watch during the day. It's Sunday,
and they might as well just have a Stadium Series game as well on Sunday. It's like they'll ruin everything.
Yeah.
They'll always find a way to ruin it.
It doesn't make any sense to me. It's 8 o'clock. I'm not gonna Sunday. I go to sleep early. A lot of people go to sleep early. I'm not going to be up at 10 o'clock on Sunday. It's not going to happen.
I'm going to be hurting Monday morning. Let's just put it that way. During our break, I was talking to Steve. My son is a huge Impractical Jokers fan, and you went on the road with him. You're actually friends with these guys.
Yeah.
And you're talking about how huge these guys are, and I was shocked to hear that.
Massive. I'll tell you how I knew that they were getting big, because when Sullivan and Son was on the first season, it was their first season. Okay, so we would crisscross and see each other at festivals or on the road. And the second year, we were all on the road again, so we'd see each other in comedy clubs, right? And they started to dabble in theaters and still do the clubs, and we were all still doing clubs. The third year, we're all crisscrossing, but now they're doing theaters, and we're still in the clubs. I'm like, I think we're in trouble here. And the fourth year, we obviously got canceled, and they kept going on, and they are massive.
It's crazy.
Massive.
You're TBS, which everybody knows about because Turner Broadcasting, and they're on True TV.
Yeah. That's still Turner.
Yeah, but True TV, we're thinking, okay, that's like crime stories.
Yeah, but they are the biggest thing on True TV.
And they're the biggest, highest rated show. It is. It's their
highest rated show.
All they do is run a marathon of Impractical Jokers all week long. It's crazy. That's what I call it. It's not even True TV anymore. It's the Impractical Jokers channel. It's
massive guys. Like the tour everywhere when people recognize them. But the thing about those guys is that they're all still great friends. Never any friction on tour, and great guys. Like literally great guys. I think it's one of those great representations of what you see on screen is literally why people show up, and it is why people go see them live. And as a fly on the wall that toured with them for 3 weeks in a bus, compact, going all over the place, the greatest. Like literally the nicest guys in the world.
All right, see,
and you can tell that sometimes that portrays on stage.
Not one of them had an issue. Not one of them is mean. Not one of them is like, I don't want to do this. I mean, they're all game. Every show. Every time we went out to lunch, people asking for. They're just the nicest guys.
Okay, good. Because I was worried, like you're the fourth guy, you're the guy on the bus now, so
they're
all gonna bust on you, joke on you.
Yeah, they were super nice. I mean, they all have massive cocaine problems, but that's not for me to say. I didn't see that. Yeah,
I thought that was just Joe.
Yeah,
I watched the show too. Got kids, I have to.
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny. Well, yeah, my nephews and everybody watched that show, so it's crazy. It's like one of their big things. And your dad, he still is you said he's a referee in hockey.
Yeah, 70 years old, still reffing hockey games
amazing.
Up in Tampa at the Lightning practice facility. So he sees all those guys all the time, and he's like, Martin St. Louis, just the nicest guy in the world. It's like all hockey players are nice because they're Canadian. You know, the worst ones I think are the Russians. The Russians are like the African Americans. They love the jewelry. They love the nightclub. They got a little reputation, you know. But yeah, I think for the most part, hockey players. You always hear that from the press too. That they're the nicest. They're the most amiable and down to earth.
Yeah. See, I was worried about like Vasilevsky and everything because with these Russian sanctions, I'm like, oh no, don't deport my hockey players. Especially Vasilevsky. We suck with Budai.
No, they'll be okay.
Yeah, I hope so.
You'll be okay.
Make sure your visas are stamped, guys.
Kucherov had the worst celebration after he scored that goal that buried the Pens. He did that in like bird.
Oh,
it was
like
like
flap.
Penguins don't fly.
Yeah, I don't want a Russian breakdancing in the middle of PPG Arena in Pittsburgh. That ain't gonna fly.
No, it was terrible. I saw that and I was, what are you doing? Oh, I was pissed. Well, of course I was mad because they lost. But
did you ever finish your documentary of The Amazing Jonathan?
Finished it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's out to all the platforms now, so they're checking it out to see who will acquire it.
Okay.
So we're
just
just
one of
waiting.
those things you take to like Sundance or something and see who buys it?
We've been to a few festivals, yeah. So we're waiting to hear back from the buyers. So we literally just kind of locked it up and sent it off to them maybe a month ago.
Sweet.
And I'm getting ready to film a movie I wrote about my early years in stand-up, and Vince Vaughn's producing that. And you've been privy to some phone conversations, but we locked up a
he's
great cast.
He's directing, so
directing it. So it's
wow.
Like we got Bill Burr, Whitney Cummings, Russell Peters, Brian Regan, Tom Segura, Brian Callen, Roy Wood Jr. attached right now, and obviously Vince is producing. And we got a great team behind the scenes. And
I love Whitney Cummings.
It's gonna be a great.
Is she tall?
You said that like a little creepy.
She just seems like really tall.
Put your hands up here.
She's I wouldn't say she's a tall. She's probably taller than average, but
she comes off like 5'11" on the screen, man.
No,
she looks
probably
so
like 5'9", 5'8".
Okay.
But she's
hilarious.
Literally one of the hardest working comics.
She's on everything
I've ever
you don't
seen.
See her on TV, but you see her credits everywhere.
Everywhere.
I'm like, wow, I didn't know she was a part of this. You know,
so well deserved, and she's just a grinder. She literally is working constantly, and I think from the time I met her to the time now, present day, where you see her working on shows and working on Roseanne and show running and pitching stuff, and she just directed a great film called The Female Brain.
Nice.
It's out. She's a hustler.
I loved her show Whitney too. I was mad it got canceled. She had such a great dynamic with that guy who played her boyfriend.
Chris D'Elia,
yeah. That's his.
Chris D'Elia.
He's hilarious.
He's hilarious too. Yeah,
great guy. Yeah.
Just I don't know. That's so
great
cool.
hair.
Yeah, right. No doubt.
Damn you, D'Elia.
No, it seems like you had a lot of fun in television. It sounds like something you might want to get back into.
Yeah, I think. Look, once I finish this film, we're pitching something now with television. We're getting ready to, so we'll see what happens. But the film has been my priority. It's been a pet project. So, once Sullivan got canceled, I didn't want